ones. My name is Heather, and today we are starting the first of the Style Symposium series, which is going to be occurring within any other series. And my very first honoured guest is Jaclyn, and she is the owner of the consignment store that I've mentioned many times on my channel. And the name of her store is Merry-Go-Round. So you've recently acquired this business from a long-standing owner. So what is your vision for the business?
Okay, great. So I purchased Merry-Go-Round in November last year. So it's been 6 months officially now, which is very exciting. So my main vision for the store is that it is a very inclusive space. I want it to be a place that anyone can find something. So a variety of sizes. So we have from 0 to 30 and a variety of prices.
So then US, that would be 0 to 26.
So that's something that I've already changed about the store. So when I purchased it, the largest size in the store was a 16. So I've added 10 more sizes since then because I do want it to be an inclusive space. So every body, every budget, I want someone to find everything. And I've also made a larger range of pricing. So I'll show you later, but around the store you'll find I have a $10 rack right beside the new arrivals rack. So I have a $10 piece right beside an $1,800 piece of Chanel. So
I know.
Yeah, a range for everyone, inclusive, and I want everyone to be able to find something. So that's my main vision for the store.
Yeah, that is so exciting. It's really moving with the times as well. So the shop has got 3 distinct areas. So there's day wear, after 5, and bridal.
Correct.
So can you tell me a little bit more about each of these?
Yeah, absolutely. So the business that I purchased already had quite a lot of ball gowns and cocktail and casual clothing. So we have, I've added a section that I've called Bride and Joy. That's the name of the business that I'll be promoting. So we've added over 100
bridal
over 140 wedding dresses, again from size 6 to 30 in the wedding dresses. So that's quite a major part of the store that I'd like to promote more in the future. We have a very large casual section, so you can find anything from bathers to whatever you might like, and there's including designer labels in that section. And we also have a ball gown area, which I've moved, so we have a whole new room. It's just ball gowns. And what's really exciting about the ball gowns is that you can actually hire them or you can buy them. It's up to you what you want to do. If you do hire the ball gowns, we actually include a clutch and a bolero if you like as well.
Yeah, that's awesome, because those are something that you would only wear every now and again.
Most things in the ball gown and bridal area specifically have only been worn one time, if that. So they're basically brand new.
Yeah. It just keeps it flowing, keeps it moving.
Exactly.
So I'm really intrigued by the authentication process that all of your designer items go through. So can you tell me a little bit about that?
They do. So to be completely honest with you, I knew nothing about this before I got into this business. And we have this amazing cabinet full of very high-end handbags specifically. So there's Louis Vuitton and Chanel and Gucci and the like. And there's a lot of places that like to knock those off and make fakes, basically. And so a big challenge of mine was figuring out, how do I know that what I'm selling is real? And so I've learned that there's a whole bunch of ways you can do it online. I've used a few different websites. And all you do, it's actually quite straightforward. So if it's real, the bag will actually have a serial code inside of it. So you have to take pictures from the front, the back, the bottom, the sides, underneath the zipper, inside the zipper. It's a whole process of taking photos, but the serial code is the most important. And Louis Vuitton is the hardest one to find. But they've taught me some tricks on how to get some.
Is it UV light?
It's actually, you can take it's usually printed inside of the bag. And what they taught me to do is take a piece of tape and put it on, and then take it off, and then put it on a window. It's imprinted. So it's quite a process. So then there's these online companies that can actually go and verify based on everything you've sent in. It has to be the photos as well as the serial code, and they'll say, yes, we believe that this is authentic, and I will not sell anything if I haven't done that. Even the things that were already in the store or anything, even if I had a receipt, once I got one with the receipt, came back not authentic. So I always check to make sure, because I want to make sure that you're getting value for your money, and I think it's really important to know that when you are investing in a product like that, that you know that it's legitimate.
Absolutely. Yeah. Especially if the original designer has gone to the trouble to make it exclusive. You
Absolutely.
need to have that faith, don't you?
We do. So I can guarantee to you that everything in the store is authentic. Yeah. Actually, we do have a few knockoff items, and we write that on there. We do say this is not authentic. That's why it's such a good deal. You know, you might get a Chanel bag for $100 instead of $3,000. So there are those options, but we are very straightforward that they look great, but they're not real.
Yeah, exactly, because there is a market for that as well. But it's certainly just that it's honest. So what can a new customer expect to find when you walk into it?
Okay, so a lot of people have, when they come in, they compliment that the windows are looking really nice and the shop's looking really different and it's different than the last time they were here. What they'll expect to find is that there is a much larger range of items. We do have a lot of items. I'm still working on making sure there's not so much, but they will find a very large range of prices and sizes. That's the main one, is that we have really expanded the labels that we accept and the just the variety of sizes. There's a whole plus size section now, which was never there before. So they'll just see that, we're really trying to make it a space that's inclusive. Yeah. And I think that they'll see things that they wouldn't expect to see. And this whole bridal section has a lot of gifts, for example. You might not expect to go into a consignment store and find wedding gifts. And people always come in and they say, wow, I've never seen anything like this. And so they'll find something that they didn't even know they were looking for. Yeah.
That's very exciting in and of itself.
It's fun. It is. People have been so lovely, so complimentary. People are having a good time here, and it makes me feel really good.
Yours is a consignment boutique, so how does that work?
Okay, so the way it works is that you probably love clothes, and you are going through your wardrobe maybe seasonally, and you pick out a few items. Maybe you've lost some weight or gained some weight, or it's just something you've worn enough and you're finished with it, and you think, this is just something I love, and I want someone else to be able to love it as much as I do, rather than donating it. Even when you donate, people do find things they love, but it's something that usually means something to people. So what happens is you can make an appointment and bring it in, and we'll have a look at the items. In the store, we will research how much these items might have been new, and we usually try to sell them for around half. That's the benchmark, around half of what they were new. And once they sell, then you actually receive half of that money. So it's a way to make some money out of clothes that you're not going to wear anymore. And the best part is that you know that these items are going to someone else that's going to give it a second life. They're not going to go into a landfill or into a shop that it might sit and get dusty. People love the things they buy here. And so it's a way to pass on the love and also make a little bit of money.
Fantastic. And it's a way to actually get a good designer item at a fraction of the price.
So we keep the items in the store. Currently, we're doing 3 months at the full price, which is half price. And if they haven't sold, we'll still try it for another month at half price. And so you might even find things for a quarter or less of what they would have been new.
So then I guess in that you need to be a gatekeeper. So when you're actually sifting through, you need to be really decisive about what will work.
It's really difficult. Like I said, it's been 6 months now, so I'm starting to learn a few patterns because we do return items to consigners if they haven't sold. And so I can see, okay, this style didn't go. Yeah. But it is really difficult because I have such a range of customers here. We have young people, they're in high school, maybe they're buying ball gown or whatever it is they're doing. And then we have lots of seniors that come in as well. So it's so diverse. Everything in between. So it's really hard to pick the patterns because some things that maybe they didn't sell in the first 2 months, they might sell right away at the end or the first time that they go on half price. And sometimes it's just so hard to say. Things I think will sell straight away don't, or things that I'm like, I'm not sure, let's take a chance. They sell the first day. So I'm still learning what people like. Apparently my style isn't the same as everyone else's. So you just have to have an open mind. And it's a lot of just figuring it all out right now. We're still just at the learning phase.
And I think fashion and styling in and of itself keeps moving.
Absolutely. I mean, do you ever find that there's something, maybe you bought it here and then you might keep it in your wardrobe for a couple of weeks before you even wear it. And then you think, oh, today's the day. Now I feel this style. And it can change day to day. You wake up and depends on your mood, depends on the weather, and your style changes all the time. So you just never know. I have some people that have tried items on a few times. The first time didn't work. Second time you loved it, right?
Yes, exactly. Like my burgundy dress, for example.
So you just never know.
When I look at all of the brands that you will accept in your store, there are so many of the brands that I just love. I love their work. So what is your criteria for what you actually accept?
You know what? This is an interesting one because the list of brands that we love is something I actually did inherit when I purchased the business. So I didn't create that list myself. It was a really good guideline for me because coming into this, I didn't know much about brands or fashion, especially being from Canada. There's a lot of different brands in Australia. So I had to learn a lot about the brands. So that list really helped me to figure out what's happening in the first month or so. But I would say that it's a very, very loose list at this stage. So I have added a section in the how to consign of the brands that I believe are selling the best. Yeah, on the website. Yeah. So things that I want to add to that list are maybe the brands that people don't know if they're good enough to consign. And to me, it's not about that. We sell things with no label all the time just because it's the right style. They need to be in really good condition. We don't want to sell anything that's dirty or damaged. It has to be in really good condition. But the brand isn't as important. So I have a lot of things even from H&M and Zara, and they do really well. Or I have all the way up to obviously Gucci and Chanel and things like that and everything between. But it's more about what's someone going to feel good in? Is it something that's fashionable, or is it something that's cozy, or is it something that's going to be great for to wear to a wedding, for example? I find with the cocktail section, especially in the ball gowns, people don't have a preference on brand. They just want to look and feel beautiful. And wedding dresses, people don't care about the brand. It's not about that. And so you have to have a really open mind, which is why it's so hard for me because I struggle to say no to a lot of the items. So I'm trying really hard to set some rules and say, please don't bring more than 5 items at a time because we're getting really overstocked because I love everything.
Yes. And you've been really good at implementing those.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So I would say it's a very rough list of brands that do well, but I would say in the consignment market in Perth, we're sort of somewhere in the middle. We're not the highest end consignment store. We have high-end items, and we're not the lowest end either. We're right in the middle. We're that medium place. We do really well with brands like Picnic and Witchery and Chic. Like these regular brands do really, really well here. Q is a big one for us too. But then if we do get some of those higher-end brands, they usually sell pretty quickly too. So it's a loose list. I'm working on it, but it's more about just the feel and the style. And do I think someone would look good in that? And I look at a piece and I say, someone will love this, and then it goes straight out.
And I guess with some of those brands, some of them do your stock standard classic range, but then they also do fashion from time to time.
Oh,
so
absolutely.
Even within a brand, it can be.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And some do limited editions, which is always exciting to get because you're not going to find it anywhere else, especially for these last seasons. You're not going to find that anymore. So I get really excited when I see anything limited edition or just different than what people are seeing in the stores right now. You can come here and find something else. Yeah,
something new.
Absolutely.
That's what I love about it.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Do you have any favorite designs?
When things come into the store and they are local, people do really like that. So I'm always excited when I see anything from flannel, for example, or local to Australia. If I see Zimmerman, we always are excited to get that. It always does really well, sells immediately, so we hardly have any usually because it goes so quickly. My personal favorite brands are Picnic and Witchery and Chic. I mentioned those before. Those are my personal favorites. If anybody brings those in, I usually try it on.
That's your problem.
Yeah. I do have had to set some rules so that I don't buy everything that comes into the store. But I have to share the love a little bit. But there's just it just depends on the style. Again, I'm happy to buy things that don't have any brand whatsoever, just because they're comfortable. Or right now, I'm really into the knits, of course. You'll be seeing this a little bit later, but as we film this, it's raining in June, so I'm really excited when I see any knitwear come in.
And that's that season aspect that you always have to consider as well.
You do, and it surprised me. I wasn't sure how it would do because, like I said, I'm from Canada. Winter is very different in Canada than it is in Australia.
Cold.
It's It's very cool. But you know what? It's not, the fashion's the same. Other than having your fur coats, maybe. You might not need a big fur, but the knitwear is very similar, and I'm kicking myself for not bringing some of my things from Canada when I moved here.
Well, next time your mum comes, she can bring them over.
Yeah, absolutely. But I do find, for me, I really prefer the winter fashion to the summer fashion. I find it so much cozier, and it's cuter, and it just makes you feel less self-conscious because you're hiding more of your body if you're self-conscious about that kind of thing. So, I mean, I have a variety of favorite things.
I agree, and I think if ever you've been to Melbourne, you see that the women in Melbourne really know fashion.
Yes.
And winter really becomes them, and you can do more with your outfit in winter.
Absolutely. We get so many things that come from little boutiques in Melbourne. People come in and say, I found this in this boutique in Melbourne, and you're not going to find it anywhere. And there's these brands I'm learning for the first time when people bring them in, and I look it up and I'm like, oh, how great it is. You know, it's Australian made, and we have a huge selection of boutique Melbourne items, as well as people might travel all over the world and bring things in that you would never find in Australia. You can find things in here that people got in a random boutique in Greece or Italy or wherever it is. So it's so exciting because you cannot find that anywhere else.
Exactly. They're just not big enough to be able to have an international presence.
Not yet. You never know. We'll get them famous maybe. We'll be on to something.
So we are both wearing outfits that we picked from this very shop. So can you tell me about what you're wearing?
I'd be happy to. So, I don't know if you can get the full effect here.
Do a little spin.
This jacket is, of course, from the shop. This is an example of the fact that we take a variety of brands. So this one's Massimo Dutti, which is just by Zara. So it's a very basic brand, but how cute. So I had to get that. It has the pockets that I love. I know it's not her thing, but more for me. This top that I'm wearing today, I was excited to wear. Like I said, you're seeing this later, but today happens to be Western Australia Day. So this is my favorite brand, Picnic. They are from WA, and they are so great because they offer a lot of very modern items that are also timeless. Yes. So for me, I love the puffy sleeves and anything that, you know, gives you that V-neck effect. That's my favorite. And then I've paired them with these silk pants that are from Luxe Deluxe. So they're an Australian brand that specializes in silks. They have amazing silk pieces. This particular piece I wanted to show you because I actually had our in-house alterations specialist customize these to fit me. They were a mile too long when they were in the store, but I just love them. So we have an on-site seamstress. She's amazing. She's a couturier, so she actually designs her own clothing and makes it by hand. She retired and now she is working for us part-time. We're so lucky. Fantastic. So she works every Thursday from 11 till 3. And so if you find an item in the shop, say it was trousers that are too long, or if it's a dress that's a little bit too big or just not quite right, you can come and meet her on a Thursday and she'll customize them to your body. So I would never be able to wear these normally, but now they're the perfect height for me. So those are my Luxe Deluxe pants.
That's brilliant.
And I don't know if you can see them, but these heels are from the shop, and they're actually Bata shoes, which I was so excited to see come in the store.
Bata? Yes, from the Czech Republic.
They're originally from Czech Republic over 120 years ago, but then the family actually emigrated to Canada, and their head office was in Toronto for a really long time, and I'm from Canada, so I was excited to see that. We actually have a Bata shoe museum in Toronto. So I was really excited to see Bata shoes come in Perth when I'm from Canada. So that was really exciting for me. Yeah. Oh, wow. So I have a variety of things happening here today.
But everything was purchased from the shop. Mm-hmm. And I think the tailoring service is just wonderful. I've mentioned that a few videos ago about altering anything that isn't quite right. And it's just the way to make it perfect for you. Because obviously when you get different sizes from different regions around the world, it doesn't quite fit.
And we're not all the same height or the same shape, and sometimes you might love the fabric, but it just isn't not quite right. And it's a very affordable way to do it. She only charges by how long it takes her to do. She's not out there to charge too much. She's really just genuinely doing it because she loves it. She retired and still wants to work because she loves fashion that much. So it's a really affordable way to make them customized to you. So
that's your secret weapon.
Yeah. I actually have a skirt in the store, exactly the same fabric and pattern. If you like these trousers. There's a skirt right here for you.
Well, hopefully it'll still be there by the time you see this video. So I got all of this from this shop as well. So this is a Mark and Spencer glittery silver top. And then these were a recent acquisition. They are yellow jeans from Witchery. I'm really getting into yellow. So this is like the Trini Tribe colours. And then my sparkly boots. So the story with this is when I walked into the shop, it was the first thing I saw. And Jaclyn literally said they've just gone on the floor. Mm-hmm. So I was just so fortunate. I was in the right place at the right time.
Yeah. And the right size.
I know.
It's so exciting when you find things in your size.
I know.
Especially shoes. Those are the one thing it's a little bit difficult to alter.
Yes.
So it's so exciting when you can find shoes that fit. I love those so much. They would have been gone if they were my size.
So let's just have a little bit of a look around the store and you just guide us through.
I'll take you through a little tour of the shop. So from the very entrance here, I've just added this rack, which is all winter knitwear, because it's winter where we are now. For a long time, this was all of our summer white dresses that might be good for weddings, for your hen's party or engagement photo shoot or anything like that. But now we've got the knits because we're trying to stay on top of the season change. So that's really exciting. And then this section is a little bit of two things. So we've got our bride and joy section. So we have all of our wedding dresses starting from here. So we have absolutely stunning pieces. They are in order of size. So they start at 6. That's our smallest size for wedding dresses, but can always be altered. And they go all the way up to 30. And on this side, we have all of our cocktail wear. We've got a few jackets just on display because it's winter, but they're in size order, all of our cocktail dresses. So we've got 4, 6, 8, for example, down here. So that's what you might want to wear if you're going to a wedding or any special event. We have lots of mother of the bride and groom dresses in this section here. So it goes along by size. And as mentioned, we have our new plus size rack here. Plus, I'll say generously, it's just 16 and onwards, all the way to 30. So that's something that wasn't in the store before. So I'm really proud of that selection.
Yeah.
So the wedding dresses continue on. We've got a beautiful selection of veils and shoes for your special day. And they go all the way in order. We've got 10s, 12s, a whole room in the back of 14s, which is also where the seamstress has her special section.
Right. Yeah.
And then our fitting rooms are back here. Today we happen to have a summer clearance right here, but it's not usually there. But something I did want to point out, if that's okay, is we have what I call the joy section. So we're bride and joy, which I love because it's like pride and joy, and it's my pride and joy, but it's wedding dresses and happiness. So these are little joy items. So they're things that are fun when you're getting married. So there's lots of just little, there's Mr. and Mrs. towels, and there's Mr. and Mrs. coffee mugs and wedding planners and canvas totes, and there's cards if people are getting married, and there's just all sorts of fun things. We've even got some little girl dresses, flower
they are
girls,
cute,
and things like that. So you just never know what you're going to find on this side. So this is all new that I've added in the last few months. So I'm really excited to be able to promote that.
And that's your wedding planner background.
It is. I was a wedding planner for over 8 years in Canada. So that is where my passion used to lie, and this is a beautiful way for me to bring in my wedding planning experience with my recycling passion. So I'm all about the circular economy, and it's such a nice way to have both in one. So that's why I'm doing what I'm doing.
Making it your own.
That's it. Yeah, that's mine. This particular rack will change depending on what's going on. So we just had a bunch of Mother's Day promotions here, and then today it's WA brands for WA Day. So that one will change all the time. We've got lots of jewelry and items for your special events. We've got watches, clutches, and all sorts of things. This is something I really wanted to show you. I'm excited about this. So this is our new arrivals rack. This is only items that have arrived within the past 7 days. They don't stay there for more than a week.
Right.
But right now we've also got a special sale on, and there's a $10 rack. But what I think is the most fun and inclusive thing about this store right now is that you can have a look here. We've got this brand new, this arrived 2 days ago, the Chanel two-piece suit. This is going for $17.90. And right beside it, you can get a top from our $10 rack. So we've got $1,800 and $10. So there really is something for everyone right here beside each other. So that's a really good example of all of the beautiful items that we've got here to offer for everyone. This side of the store is more of our casual wear. So we have
lots of basically everything, and they're in order of size. So we've got some new jackets over here by size. All of our shoes, we've got so many shoes, and there's a sale on shoes right now. All of the shoes are either 20 or 50% off, which by the time you see this video, I'm sure we'll still find you a shoe sale. Don't worry about that. We've got our tops. We've got all the smalls here, mediums here, larges over on the other side under the bags. Everything you could want all over here. So some more shoes. We've got our scarves. This is our half price rack. So remember I said we'll try and sell them for 3 months at full price. If they haven't sold, then we'll try and sell them for half price for a whole month. Yeah. On this side. So that's where you get some really good bargains.
And there's a real customer there looking through the racks.
This is my very special cabinet of authenticated designer bags. I guarantee to you that they're all authentic. If for some reason you found they weren't, guarantee that I'll be happy to take care of you however I can. But I can officially let you know that every single one of these is authentic. So we've got Yves Saint Laurent, we've got Louis Vuitton, we have Dior, we have Gucci. It's all in there. So if you're into that, then come in and have a look. I'll show you around. But we also have, a couple $20 bags over here right beside them.
Yeah.
So.
High-low.
Exactly.
Something for everyone. Let's have
everyone.
another look at this cabinet. That is magnificent.
Pretty
all
special.
Of those beautiful brands, magnificent investment pieces.
So over here we've got our pants and trousers. We've got a section of furs. I don't know how you feel about furs, but they are pre-loved at least. Yeah. So, at least we're giving them a second life if the whole fur thing had to happen.
Yes.
At least we're keeping them alive, right?
And there are mixed opinions about that. But there's something for everyone.
Yeah, exactly. So this little section here is the clutches that you can borrow if you hire a ball gown. So you just can take one for free and bring it back when you're finished. The boleros as well. We've got a few boleros that you can borrow for free. Up top here, if there's a few in there. If you're going to an event in the wintertime, you are more than welcome to just borrow one. That belong to the store. I wouldn't lend out other people's things, but anything that we own, you're more than welcome to borrow if you get a ball gown hire. This is new. This is our new ball gown room. So they're all in order of color and size. So the size is written on the hanger. So if this one, for example, is a 6, you'll find 6 in every color, just so that it's a little easier to look through when you first come in. And again, we have, from size, we have about 4 until probably 24 in this room. There are a few 30s over on the cocktail rack as well, though. And you have your seamstress. We have our seamstress. She is amazing. I'm so grateful. Best decision I made when I I took over. And the great thing about all of these ball gowns is you can actually hire them as well. So just for example, this dress here, you can see the price tag, that one is on for $199. So what that means is you can buy it for $199. If you wanted to hire that, then you would pay the $199 and wear it. And when you bring it back to us, you get half back as a deposit. So it's half price to hire the ball gowns. So that's a really good option too, because usually people only wear them once.
Exactly. And so it was really only cost you $100 for something that you would only wear once.
Yeah, anyway. Exactly. But you know what's been happening lately is a lot of people are hiring their ball gowns and they get so many compliments. They say, I'm not bringing it back. And so they keep them, and that's fine because you've paid for it with the deposit. So it works out really well. And it's happened so many times lately. It's really nice. And we love when you send your photos in of your ball gown hire. We love to see those events. Got some sunglasses in here and some clutches and some random bits and bobs. We're still working on that little section. So yes, we have 174 square meters of pre-loved clothing for you here. So
brilliant.
Yeah, we'd love to see you. So Heather, would you like to come and try something on from the shop?
Yes.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay.
Okay.
So this is from Sass and Bide. And what a unique coat. So it actually has a waistcoat. It's navy blue. And then it has this double-breasted vest with these silver buttons. And it's all one piece. And then it has this dramatic cape. I just feel like I'm out of Harry Potter or something. Just magnificent. You just feel so dramatic just wearing it. Isn't it just amazing?
Love that.
So I really hope that you enjoyed our little chat with Jaclyn, and I really hope that you will join me next week, and we're going to be looking at fabric composition, and I can assure you that will be classic, elegant and fun.